Hi there friends and welcome back to Manor Lords. This is episode 5 of our Let's Play series. If you haven't watched the first episodes, I'd recommend you go and do so. I'll just link it at the top here. And then without any further ado, let's jump straight into this. Alright, so in the previous episode we've had a bunch of developments. We managed to set up our manor, which is located right here in the forest. And then also we were involved in a battle, a high-scale battle, and we decided that in this episode it's quite important that we increase our amount of villagers so that we can strengthen our militia. And then I also saw that at the very top here, or the bottom of the map actually, let me just swing this around. Earlhart was the region that was previously under claim by our enemy, and we said that we would face them on the battlefield to dispute this claim. And I see that automatically we actually became the new lord of this little region over here by winning them or being victorious in that battle, which means we have already expanded quite a bit, even though we don't have any buildings set up here. So the other region that I want to try and claim today will be Letervloed. It's this one right here in between our two regions. I don't think it'll help us if we separate it like this, so we'll definitely try to claim this region in today's episode. So currently we're in May, and that's basically nearing the end of spring, which means we need to check. We've got at least 2 families gathering berries for us. The berries are still looking good. And then over here in our hunting camp we also have 2 families assigned. As you can see, we've got quite a huge resource of deer over here so that we can get some food in. Currently we're sitting at a surplus of 5 months. Doesn't seem too bad, but we need to get that up even further. Then right over here on this side of the map, we'll see we've got a guy going with the ox there, busy plowing this field. We do have 2 families set up in our farmhouse, so just to get some of this food planning out of the way, just need to make sure that everything is still running efficiently over here, and we will be planting rye this year. Our timber industry is also going quite strong. We've got 2 people in the forester's hut, they're planting away, and then we've got someone in the woodcutter's lodge. They are obviously cutting firewood, and then that's being turned into charcoal right over here at the charcoal kiln. At the moment we look like we've got enough fuel to last us quite a while, and also remember that we are trading away most of that charcoal that we make right over here at our trading post, and we've got a trade route established for that, so that'll help us with a little bit of extra income. I think what we need to do now immediately is start setting up some more burgage plots. I think it's quite important for us to get more families to move into our village as quick as possible. So that seems good to me. Now we've got 4 additional houses. These guys are lucky they've got a nice river view, so let's get construction going on that. Alright, there we go. Construction is finished on our 4 new burgage plots, so now we have some space for additional families to move into our region, and that'll mean we can strengthen that militia of ours even further. Another thing that I want to check out, you see on this side is where we set up the bowyer's shop and the joiner's shop, but we also need to start focusing on more food production. So let's go in over here, and I think what we'll do is we'll start adding chicken coops. It's quite important just to get some more meat variety going. Okay, there we go. So now we have an entire street here just filled with chicken coops. I think that'll help us a lot. And then on the top of those we've got some vegetables growing. We'll definitely need to add more vegetable plots, or at least some orchards, because we don't have any other fruit than the berries available. So that might be something we focus on as well. I think on this side we'll keep the artisans, you know, like the bowyers and joiners shop, and on this side we can also see if we can't add some more stuff like a tailor's workshop perhaps. I think let's go ahead and do that immediately. I also want to start leveling up these first burgage plots that we built. You can see that there's a clear difference in how they look between these and then these ones at the top, especially when you look at the roofs. These still have the grass roofs, and then on this side we've got a bit more roof tiles going. So we'll start leveling these up as well. Let's just see. Okay, we need some additional planks. Looks like we do not have enough. So we'll wait for the planks to come in and then we'll start leveling up. Let's call this Main Street. All the burgage plots on Main Street, we'll start leveling those up as well. I think we should also start focusing on the requirements for the level 2 burgage plots if we want to level them up any further. So you see that they need animal produce or fruits. So at least we do have some animals at the moment. I'm thinking of adding a sheep farm as well. That might help us with that. And then building some additional burgage plots on this side with orchards, so we can make them quite large so that we can add a bunch of orchards to them to ensure a continuous influx of fruit into our little village. And then regarding the garments, we did add a tailor's workshop just here, but for that we will need some animal hides and wool and leather. So let's go ahead and build that sheep farm. I want to do this in the same area as my regular crop farm, so let's get started on that. So that'll be our farmhouse right there. And then we can go ahead and add a pasture. Like that. And once that is constructed, we will also need a livestock trading post. So I'll go ahead and build that right here on the King's Road as well. And this is what will allow us to import lamb or sheep to our settlement. So there we go. It looks like construction has started on our sheep farm. And there we go, construction completed on the sheep farm. We'll definitely add a family to that, and as soon as the livestock trading post is completed, we'll definitely start ordering some sheep. And the livestock trading post is also done, so we'll add a family to that. And then we'll go into the trade section and say that we need to import some sheep, and they are quite expensive, 30 coin at this moment. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with 4 sheep. Okay, so we've started with 4 sheep that we want to import, and we've added a family to the livestock trading post, so they will start bringing in those sheep and then they can reproduce on their own time. And then I think on this side we will start adding burgage plots, larger ones that we can also turn into orchards.
Meat's so tender it practically melts in your mouth. Come and see for yourself.
Yeah, there we go. I think I'm gonna do 3 of them. So it's quite long, but I guess that'll be fine for orchards, planting a bit of trees to get some fruit into our village. You can see that it is August currently, so that means the supply of berries will drastically start going down, as well as the deer over there. So I think on the forager hut we'll just remove 1 family. I believe 1 family will be able to do the job there, and also on the hunting camp then we've got a few more people available for construction on our larger burgage plots right over here. And there we go, the first 2 is completed already. And the 3rd one is done. So now that we have some spare families available again, I'm going to reintroduce 2 families into the mining pits. And let's see, we only have about 33 clay left and 8 iron. So we're almost done digging out all the iron and clay deposits from these mines over here. Let's go ahead and have a look. So iron ore, we currently have 98 in stock. And we have 87 clay in stock. So I think we'll also add a family to the bloomery. No, that's the storehouse. That won't work. The bloomery over there, and they can start manufacturing iron slabs from the iron that we've already dug up out of the soil. Alright, there we go. We've got enough planks now, so I'll immediately add an orchard right there. And there. Okay, it looks like a bandit camp was sighted, and I think we should immediately start taking care of that as well, because that will not only bring an influx of coin to our town, but also stop the bandits from raiding our supplies. So right over there is where we find the bandit camp. So let's go ahead and rally our troops. And here they come running, our militia, men getting ready for battle. And the bandits is already responding, but we've got our troops heading out quite fast. And here we go, raiders on the horizon. And we'll start taking them apart. Push forward, guys. There we go, easy as that. And then I'll send the militia back home so that they can get back to work. Not the militia, the archers. And then we'll just quickly go and take this camp with our spearmen. There we go. And I'll send the resources to my town this time. I just decided to come and take a look on this side of the map, and I see we already have 3 sheep in our pasture here, so we'll have to add a family to the sheep farm as well rather quickly so that they can start shearing the sheep for wool, and then with that we can start making some clothing. Okay, so now that we've got 2 families not assigned, I'll just add one of them here to the sheep pasture, and they can start shearing these sheep for us. And then on this side as well, we'll have a look. Still a bunch of days left to go before harvest. It'll only be in the new year, but the predicted harvest is looking insanely good. So that's one positive. And then back to this side of town, where you can see we do now have construction finished on our orchards. So we'll go ahead and add some fruit. You can see they are quite expensive, so we won't be able to fill all 3 of those burgage plots. Let's see which one takes the least amount of time to grow. That'll be that one, and that's 2 years, and that's also the biggest plot. So just to save a bit of money, we'll go with this one, saplings purchased, and then on the second one we'll do either apples or pears. Let's go with apples. And then we'll leave that one. That one isn't finished with construction either, but we'll leave that one until we have a bit more cash and then we'll do pairs in this last one. So I just got a message that the iron mining pit has been exhausted, and therefore we will remove those families from there. I just want to make sure that we put someone in this storehouse as well. And then here in the bloomery we have 2 iron slabs already. So what we'll do next, we'll go ahead and we will add a blacksmith, but I think we'll need to upgrade that one first. Yeah, so while we're waiting for this burgage plot to update, you'll see that on this side they need water access, and I think that means that we'll have to upgrade our well. You see we only have water supply 62%, so those burgage plots right at the end there, they are not getting any water. So let's go ahead and do upgrade. And now that the upgrade has been completed, we'll add either a blacksmith. They produce tools, spears and sidearms. I don't think we are going to go with an armorer's workshop. We don't have an endless supply of iron, so we'll go with a blacksmith. And then I also want to check the stores for iron slabs. You see we still have iron slabs in this storehouse available and 86 iron ore. I also believe in the other one we might have some iron ore. Okay, so the guys from the bloomery have exhausted all the iron ore from this storehouse, which is why I'm going to remove this one. So logistics is a bit of a mess at this stage, because I was hoping that all the iron ore would be stored in that storehouse over there, which was not the case. So they need to come all the way back from the bloomery on this side across the river to get iron ore at the large storehouse in town, which means I think it's a good idea if we move the bloomery a bit closer to town rather. And I'll also go ahead and demolish this storehouse, because it's messing around with our logistics a bit. Unfortunately, we won't be able to relocate the bloomery either, so we'll have to demolish it. And then I'll be building another one a bit closer to town. I think right across the river here. So it's not close to the houses, but easy enough for them to go back and forth for logistic purposes. We will also need to build a weaver's workshop. They will then turn the wool that we are harvesting from our sheep. You can see that we already have 5 wool in this storehouse, and they'll be able to turn that into yarn. So we'll build a weaver's workshop right there. And then our tailor will be able to use that yarn to produce clothing for us. I see that there's some bugs in the game still. The rye harvest didn't happen at all, but because the season changed, it just demolished our crop. So that means we will have to replant again. So I see with this new update, the farming is a little bit of an issue still. I know they changed rye from a summer crop or spring crop to a winter crop. So they're supposed to plant it now, and then we can do harvest in the new year. But I see that it's still not working like it should. Okay, now that the bloomery has been constructed, we will add a family there, and we'll also add, I think we should add another family to the weaver's workshop as well. Actually thought about 2 families, but I don't think we have enough supply of wool at the moment to make that worthwhile. We only have about 4 or 5. But I do think we can go ahead and add another family to the bloomery to just make it run more efficient. And then getting back to our blacksmith, we need to decide what we want to manufacture. So for a spear, it's 1 iron slab, 1 plank. That doesn't seem too bad. Side arms is 2 iron slabs. Pole arms will be 1 iron slab and 1 plank. Tools will be 1 iron slab, and then iron parts will be 1 iron slab. So I think we just need to change this up a bit. Seeing that we already have spears in our militia, spearmen in our militia, I think we should add a few side arms. And then we can get our joiner to start creating small shields for us as well, so that we can fully stock our militia with these guys. That'll be footmen, militia footmen. There's one more change that I wanted to make in this episode. I think what we need to do is move our logging camp. Let's relocate that to over here. And we'll start focusing on these trees for a while. And then we can give our forester's hut a chance just to replant more trees in this area. It's all about sustainability, isn't it? And I think we'll do the same with the woodcutter's lodge. Also relocated to this side. Okay, now that the logging camp has been relocated, we'll just move the work area to this side. And just like that, it's December and the snow is starting to fall again on Altbrook. We've reached the end of another year, and I think we've got a lot accomplished today. Alright guys, so that will be it for today's episode. I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoy the content, please consider liking and subscribing, and we'll see what we can get up to in the next episode. I think there's some interesting stuff coming up. We definitely have to start claiming this territory and thinking of attacking that arch nemesis of ours. See you in the next episode, guys. Keep well. Cheers.